don't get this, but you got to dancing in the streets with me. We got to just make severe eye contact and lean in.
What?
Just right here. Right here. Me and you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. What the fuck was that?
Welcome to Season 3 of Matt Makes Zac Watch Horror Movies. Return to Haddonfield with the Horror Bros on their quest to watch the entire saga of Mikey Myers from the brand new horror lair. So you, dear listener, can witness the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Are you too high for this?
Hello, and welcome to Matt Makes Zac Watch Horror Movies. I'm Little John.
And I'm Big John.
And I made a bunch of horror movie.
Happy Halloween.
Hey.
And welcome to the video. This is us.
There's a reason that we only had audio until now. Too much beautiful.
Yeah, sorry.
Smolder into camera with me, Zach. All right. You can't do that ever again.
This is why we haven't had video. This is the problem.
Yes. But Zach, what did I make you watch this week?
Well, we're far enough into it where you didn't have to make me watch this one. We
no.
watched Halloween Kills, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So Zach, did you like Halloween Kills?
Fucking love Halloween Kills.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's getting a loved it from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So we've already recorded Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 because, spoiler alert, this is the start of our Halloween series. We're going to watch them all. Because so far we've only watched the original, 2018, and then 2 and 3, and now this.
Yep.
So we've already recorded those and already watched those. So I have context of those before seeing Halloween Kills. And we've been ranking them. Do you want my ranking?
I would love your ranking.
All right, so this is including the two that that you'll see later. But Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, OG Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3.
That is a crazy list. Just because of one choice and you know it. But it's okay. Movies mean different things to different people. I can deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's probably still... You're not going to like mine. So it's OG Halloween, 2018, Halloween 3, Halloween Kills, Halloween 2.
Okay. No, I know you like Halloween 3, so...
I love Halloween 3.
I expected that. Listen to our Halloween 3 episode coming out in two
episodes
weeks.
from now. Yeah.
I love this movie.
I really liked this movie.
I
wanted to love it.
I rewatched Halloween 2018 before watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, I love this movie. And then going to Halloween Kills, I was like, oh yeah, I love this movie too. I just like the filmmaking, the cinematography, like all just the cool shit, like the cool factor of these like modern
has kind
ones.
Of a cool factor, I'll give you
all
that.
The like comedy jokes, because like Danny McBride, like I love all of it, like the mixture of all of it.
All right, you know what? I'm going to make a controversial call here. I think we should skip the synopsis. This is a new movie. Go see it in theaters or on Peacock. I think we should just get straight into talking about it because I'm too excited, man.
But not my summary?
Okay. I'm not even going to time you, though. I just want to hear what you think.
We both saw it in theaters, not on Peacock, so... I
would recommend this is a see it in theaters kind of movie.
Yeah, because I also want to know that because Candyman was my first horror movie in theaters, but this was my first, but it was like empty. This is my first one in theaters when there's quite a bit of people there and everyone was reacting to it.
That's what you want.
It was so great.
If you can safely go to theaters and wear your mask, just like Mikey, I would say go see it in theaters.
Yeah. Pro
It's
tip.
a definite crowd. Candyman you should see in theaters because it looks amazing. This you should see in theaters for the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, it also looks good. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Like it felt like a Marvel movie again.
Yeah.
Because even seeing Shang-Chi in theaters.
Oh yeah, when I went and saw it, there were like 10 people there. Like,
yeah. This was like the first time like post-pandemic where I was like, oh yeah, movie theaters.
Yeah.
That's right. And pro tip, if you are kind of worried about going to movie theaters like I am, get the 2 seats on the side that are kind of away from people and like nobody gets the seats behind you. It's great.
Yep.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
it was great.
Me too.
But yeah, so point is I forgot I was doing a summary, so it's
All
not
right.
fresh in my brain. So this is going to be a recollection time. Spoiler alert, we're going into the Cape Fear.
Oh yes.
Where did it start again?
Oh, we're already getting into my problems with the movie.
Because it jumps around a bit in the beginning. So I'm like, what was the first
they
one?
find the dead cop, or well, the cop you think died in the last one that you thought
Starts with the
killed.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They give him a nice redemption arc. I like that. But
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. You gotta count me in.
3, 2, 1, go.
We start off the shitty boyfriend. He's calling out for people because he's a wimp and a simp. Fuck that guy. He finds the cop who was stabbed by the crazy doctor in the last one, and then flashback. It's the cop. It's the original 20, but it's 78, original 78 movie. He's a cop. He's chasing after Michael Myers after Loomis shot him, and they go to Michael's house, and the coolest thing ever is like the 78 Michael when he flies out of the closet and just like slams the cop.
Super cool.
That's the coolest thing ever. But then Mikey's got the other cop, and the cop that got stabbed in the neck, he shot him trying to get Michael, and Michael just walks away because he's a badass. And then it cuts to the shot from like the first movie where he's a little kid just standing there and the camera zooms out. It does that, but with Michael surrounded by cops, and that's the coolest thing ever as well. I freaking love it. And then we go back to modern day, and like Laurie's on the run after the set him on fire. They go to the hospital, and then we cut to a bar where there's a husband and wife, and then they meet grown-up Tommy, grown-up little girl Lindsay Wallace, and everyone's favorite character, the nurse from the first one.
Yay, Marion.
You'll get that joke in the next episode. And Lonnie, who had a real life encounter with Michael Myers, which I'm confused as if that was real or if he was just seeing things and talking shit, because that's something that Lonnie does. I don't know. But they're at a bar, they're all drinking, and Tommy, who is actually just the nerd from the Breakfast Club, goes on a whole monologue about how we won't forget what happened. We got you, Laurie, wherever you are. Shout out to you. You fuck Michael Myers. A lot of machismo coming out of that guy. And then the couple goes out to their car, and they think Michael Myers is in there, but it's actually just another escaped patient from wherever Michael was. But they think it's Michael, so they go on a ride after him. They end up at the hospital. Laurie's there. Her daughter and granddaughter are there. And then Tommy's like gathering up people. The granddaughter has a weird reunion with her boyfriend where she just completely forgets that he's a piece of shit. That's one thing I didn't like. Then they go on a hunt for Michael. People die. Michael kills people. He's cool. It's not cool to kill people, but when Michael does it, it's pretty cool. And they hunt Michael, but the other escape patient shows up, and they think it's Michael, and they chase him, and it's very, very sad, and he ends up jumping out a window. It's very sad, and that says a lot, and it was very sad. And then they still go after Michael, and Lonnie with Laurie's granddaughter and his son show up at Michael's old house, and Michael's there, and he kills Lonnie, and then he kills the boyfriend, and he fucked him up. And I was like, he kind of deserves it. He's a shitty boyfriend. That was pretty cool. But then the granddaughter is like, fight me, Michael. And Michael's like, okay. Oh my God. I am so sorry. I forgot about Big John and Little John. I'll loop back to Big John and Little John, the best arc of this whole movie.
With this movie. Go on.
Then Laurie's daughter shows up and it takes his mask and he's like, come get me, Michael. And then lures him in a trap and people beat the shit out of Michael. But Michael is pure evil. He has the devil's eyes. So he just gets up and like kills everyone literally. And then we end on Laurie's daughter just in the window looking out. Michael's just straight up behind her and just kills her. And then ends. But there's a side arc, the most important side arc of Big John and Little John, who live in Michael's house now, must be friends with the lady's brother from Candyman because they got the dark green walls and perfect interior design choices.
It's true.
So it's confirmed Candyman 2021 and this movie are connected through that through line.
Is that homophobic?
No, they both have dark green walls.
Oh, well, you said they had to be friends.
Because of the dark...
they clearly buy their paint at the same place.
He's an interior desiginer from Candyman, Matt. So they hired him.
Yeah, I got the joke. You're fine. I was kidding.
It's not a joke. This is my headcanon now. But anyways, Big John and Little John are the best characters. And they're dancing to music and having a great time, eating honey. And these darn kids won't get off their lawn. And they are way too high for this shit. And Michael shows up and kills them both. But Michael believes in true love and puts their dead bodies together and plays the beautiful music for them, which I thought was very nice of Michael.
I did like that.
Michael believes in true love.
Yeah.
At the end.
Even he's like, well, hey, man, I mean...
You guys are in my house, but you are a beautiful couple. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think your nickname's real cute. Hey, look, I know I'm a 60-year-old white guy, but I'm totally cool with this. I just don't want you in my house. Or not like that. Just, I'm going to pose you real nice. It's fine.
You can stay in the house. I just have to kill you. But yeah, that was
progressive icon Michael Myers. He's a true ally. Yeah. So should we get into this movie?
Yeah, that was the summary.
Yeah, that's a good summary, man.
Thanks. I was trying to recollect it all, and I can't believe I forgot about Big John and Little John. But that's okay. They got their own side.
It's okay. The movie keeps doing that to every character too. I've got opinions, Zach. I want to start off nice, like I always try to. I liked this movie. I had a really good time watching it. Crowded theater. It was so much fun. It looks amazing. Everybody in it is giving good performances. It's definitely the first half of one movie stretched out to an hour and a half. And that's kind of my biggest problem is like every time the movie kind of starts to build up some steam, it's like,
we're going to jump to this character now.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Michael kills somebody else unrelated to the plot. Is that what you want? Did you want that? He's going to look cool.
I wanted that.
Yeah. I mean, I was fine with it. Like, I like slasher movies. I think I expect a little more from like Halloween as if I shouldn't, because there's more bad Halloween movies than good ones, but
that's where I've got beef with you, Matt. You've ruined me.
Why?
So I saw this movie with Megan in the theaters, right? And she fucking hated Tommy. I think she's like old white man bravado.
I mean, that was a little much, but
it was a little much. But she kept going like, "Why is everyone looking all acting all badass? Like, why is Lonnie running in?" And then I went,
"When you see Megan, it's a representation about how it's all of their obsession with Michael Myers and not Michael Myers' obsession. Don't you understand what the movie's trying to say?"
Oh yeah, so, I loved all that actually. Right down to when like Laurie's like granddaughter has to be like, no, he took Michael to your house. Michael doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
You've spent your whole life obsessed and he doesn't care.
Yeah. So you successfully made me a horror nerd.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, that's what I love. That's why I like really like this movie, because now like recollecting it, I'm like, yeah, it did have some pacing issues being all over the place, but the main thing that I loved about it was trying to say stuff about like mob mentality and then like their obsession and
I do
Michael's.
appreciate. I like all that stuff.
Yeah, and like especially all the stuff with like when they're chasing around the other patients throughout the hospital. I was like, damn, that's saying stuff about our society and like just accusing like people like with mental disorders about being killers and like how horror movies say that.
It's a direct refutation of he has the darkest eyes, the devil's eyes, and is inherently evil because he's sick.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, damn. Like, I cried when he jumped out the window. I was
got a
bawling.
misty. Yeah. I wish it had perhaps been a character that I knew existed before this movie. Well, I think you see that guy. That's one of the guys in the yard in the 2018 one. But,
yeah, you see him.
But imagine if he had like a line in either movie. He doesn't even have one line in this movie. Oh no, that's not true. He does say, "I'm hurt."
That's the point, Matt, because it's just your perception of like just seeing the guy without knowing anything about him. He's not supposed to have lines. He's just
But from a filmmaking standpoint, I would care more if he was a character.
The hat fell off because you're poking holes in my logic. Yeah.
But no, I liked all that stuff. Like I feel about this where I'm like, I don't want to have like nonsense criticisms. I don't want to be the guy that's like, The Last Jedi sucks because Rey has powers and girls don't have powers. I want to be the guy that's like, since when does Star Wars care about fuel? Like, what was that subplot? Like, real complaints. And I love The Last Jedi, by the way. So
I did not, but we're not going to get into that.
I know, but you have
I have actual
valid, genuine criticisms about it as a film. Not, why are there so many ladies in this movie?
That was not my criticism.
Yeah.
But
so I don't want to have those criticisms.
Yeah.
Thematically, I think this movie has a lot on its mind, and I appreciate that.
Also, we have a new addition to the set. Darksaber.
Oh, nice.
Star Wars.
This
is a Star Wars podcast.
Yes, we take off our shirts.
We take out George Lucas.
Let me tell you what I thought about Halloween Kills.
Oh,
I knew
man.
John back in the 70s, and nice guy, great mustache.
Man, John, please make that Darth Vader movie. I really want you to.
But like, seriously, Mr. Carpenter.
Mr. Carpenter, just Darth Vader is Michael Myers. Like, let's be real. Like,
no, Darth Vader is Jason Voorhees. He's got more sympathy.
That's true, but imagine Darth Vader just coming out of the closet and just slamming some fools. That would be cool.
Don't worry, Jason does that too.
Yeah. I've only seen the first one without Jason.
I know, yeah. We'll get to it.
Yeah. But
my favorites. We'll get to it.
That's true. Yeah, this movie, like, because I was worried about that, because we talked about that like before, of like, why does it seem like this is going to be the end when we all know there's one more movie? But I actually didn't feel that, like, watching it, like the whole, like, this is clearly like the first half of a movie, like, stretched out. Like, I see what you're saying, but like watching the movie, it didn't come into my brain.
See, and it did for me personally. Again, movies mean different things to different people. That's fine. Like, I just, like, every time that, like I said, like, every time it would kind of start to feel like it was building towards something, like, you know, the guy jumps off the building and he dies and it's very sad, and then all of a sudden mob violence is okay again because we need to get to this cool ending they have.
Yeah.
Where, like, what sucks is if this was one movie, that guy killing himself probably gets cut. And that's such an affecting part of this movie.
Yeah.
But it would also really help with, like, pacing issues in this if everyone is riled up and everyone is angry and then they go out into the streets and find Michael. And you could still do stuff like in Halloween 2 where it's like, for some reason, this is just a very popular Halloween costume and they accidentally kill Ben Tramer. Like,
still my favorite part about them.
Yeah. Well, like, you could still do stuff like that within like a montage of them taking back the streets from Michael, and like how maybe this isn't the right way to go about it, you know?
Yeah.
And it would kind of just move along at a clip a little bit more. But that would also make this movie like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've got to make room for all of Jamie Lee Curtis's monologues about evil.
That's true.
Which was another thing that I was like, she's so good that I'm not bored like while I'm watching her do it. But if they just randomly cut to her in the hospital one more time being like, let me tell you what Michael is. Michael is a shark. He's a apex predator. He'll ruin your life. Okay, Grandma. All right, I'll see you later.
We should
check in with Grandma again. Grandma, what do you think? Michael is a shark. He's an apex predator. He's evil. He'll ruin your life. I was like, okay, it's the same monologue 5 different times.
Now I'm just imagining Jamie Lee Curtis with the accent from the dude from Jaws.
Like a devil's eyes. A devil's eyes. It is kind of the same monologue.
Yeah.
You know, it was just in all of the stuff with Michael, as much as I had a blast watching it, because again, I like slasher movies. I like a dumb slasher. I love My Bloody Valentine. Like that movie doesn't have like a plot. But every time they cut to Michael, I was like, oh, this would have made a really cool cold open. And it just felt like they came up with 6 cold opens with Michael and said, we'll just scatter them throughout the movie. Because every single sequence ends with like, and here's where the score and the credits would start. Like right down to Little John and Big John. It's the end of the movie almost. And he's like, Michael, you've come home.
Yeah.
And the credits were really cool in this movie though.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, because rewatching 2018, that beginning where he's like, say something, and it cuts off to do.
Yeah.
It needed that. It did need that.
I mean, this kind of has that. My one big change that I'm like, if I was gonna edit this movie and it still has to be this length, I would probably keep most things the same. My big switch is I would open with a flashback to 78.
Yeah.
And then reveal that the cop is alive.
Yeah. That
I would reverse those two. I get why they did it that way, because they're like, no one's gonna remember this cop's name, and we've got a different actor playing him when he's younger.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of get it, but I'm like, but then what a surprise when we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like thinking back to I forgot about that intro and was only remembering the flashback. So yeah. That would have been better.
I love that flashback though.
Yeah,
especially they even replicate like Carpenter's like filming style and the color palette from that movie. It rules.
And the movement of Michael, like I like that there's a different movement between like modern day Michael and like I was
looking at the
that flashback
credits.
Michael.
I think flashback Michael is actually even a different actor, which is weird. That I think they probably cast like a younger guy, and I'm like, why we can't see his face? But I guess
he did
somebody
look
to do more of a Nick Castle impression. Yeah,
he did look like way slimmer.
Yeah, he looks like Nick Castle.
Yeah, because like when he like comes out and just like way more brutal. And then like when he's just like walking, he just like turns like a robot and just like walks away. I love it.
I will say, and this is my personal, my one like, why is this in this movie? Like nerd thing that I'm like, even I know I'm wrong. Thank you. I still just have mixed feelings about Michael being so brutal in these 2 new movies where I'm like, that's not really like Michael. Like, it's almost Jason or Freddy. Like,
yeah, because we talked about that in, was it? Yeah, Halloween 2, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all these close-up shots on like stabbing the eye and like stuff like that doesn't really feel like Halloween.
But at the same time, it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Craig Nelson, the effects guy, he kills it. He's a great follow on Instagram, by the way. He just posts behind the scenes stuff all the time. That's so cool.
Nice.
But yeah. I know that's a personal problem, but I'm just like, just down one notch. Like,
that's what gets me, because like I haven't seen anything positive about this movie online, and what gets me about that is like I saw one dude who was like, man, this movie was boring. Was
I
this
would
dude?
call this movie a lot of things, but not boring.
This dude like only uses his hands and like knives to kill people. He like killed a lot of people in a lot of brutal like.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And also, did you see the first Halloween? That's what always gets me. It's like they want Jason Voorhees, and this is Michael.
He was like, this needs some like extreme set pieces and like some cool like interesting things for him to kill people with.
I mean, I did kind of think he was going to kill him with that drone in the beginning. I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
I like the bit of it just like flying back out of the.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the fuck?"
I did also like that we get to spend just enough time with Michael to actually see him set up all the tableaus that he makes, which was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Like I've never like they've never shown him like, I'll grab this body and I'll drag it over here.
I'm just gonna knife,
maybe to the left. I should call that guy from Candyman. Hey, what do you think about
Candyman in this movie are connected?
Yes, he's Michael's personal interior decorator.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'd watch that movie. Just him showing up and you're gonna want to. I think just a little bit to the left, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
If you could, thank you. All right, and I'm thinking purple drapes, and it's gonna look great, dude. This is gonna be great.
Yes. Great. Yeah, that the part where he's like just like knife. I was like, man, that is an interesting side of Michael that you don't see, where he's just like, well, there's a body here, what can I do with this? Like,
because we only ever see the aftermath. I liked that stuff. It does unfortunately get to what is kind of spoilers a little bit here.
Spoilers.
For the Rob Zombie Halloweens. Michael is the main character in those. 100%.
The fuck?
Yeah. And this movie kind of like walks right up to the border of Michael is almost the second lead.
I wonder.
I'm like, I don't want Michael to be the lead.
I wonder if they're gonna do that even more in Halloween Ends, because it'll be Laurie v. Michael, which I forgot to mention. I called it. I told you that the daughter was going to die.
I thought they would kill Laurie in this one. It would be the daughter and granddaughter hunting him, but it's got to be Laurie.
Yeah, it was like Laurie needs the motivation. Either his granddaughter or the daughter's going to die. One of them's got to go to give her the motivation.
Can we talk about how good Judy Greer is in this movie, though? I mean, she's always underrated.
Yeah.
But she's so good in this movie because it actually fixes one of my big problems with the last movie, which was why don't they care that her husband is dead? And then in this one, when she just breaks down over the sink, I was like, oh my God, she's so good.
Rewatching that movie, Halloween 2018, I am so sad that he's gone.
I know.
I forgot about peanut butter on my penis.
Yeah.
I forgot about that guy.
Although one of my favorite callbacks in this one was when Lonnie's like, your dad used to sell me peyote. And the dad had told the story the opposite way.
Yeah, he saw his own reflection and just took his pants off and jumped in. That is why I love these like new Halloween movies. Like all the comedy in it is like actually really good.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens when you hire a good comedy writer. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel forced. Like for all of my complaints about perhaps the length of the Little John Big John scene, and like how I'm like they keep just stopping the movie to cut to these two guys. I'm like, but I like these two guys.
I love those two guys.
It's the cops with the banh mi.
Yeah.
You know, like your mileage will vary. I get that. Mm-hmm. Comedy is maybe even more subjective than horror, but I liked it. Like, although it was weird because Little John was on like every season of Mad TV. He's Stuart. You know, let me do it. I know that means nothing to you because you're a child, but someone out there is going, that's what he's from. So it was kind of weird for him to show up in such a major role because the whole time I was just like, is that Michael McDonald? Like it was that kind of thing. Like,
man, not to me. So
I know, but
it was not distracting to me.
For people like my age and up, it's probably very distracting. In the same way that like. If he wasn't so good in it, Tim Heidecker is in Us. And like, luckily he turns out to be really good in the movie, and you kind of forget it's Tim from Tim and Eric. But
oh, that Tim.
Yeah. And he's great in it, luckily. But if he had like less screen time the whole time, I would have been like, is that the guy from Tim and Eric? Is that? No. That's what I was doing this whole movie. Like, is that Michael McDonald? Is that Stewart? It's fucking Stewart.
See, for me, like whenever they went back to Big John Little John, I was like, I know Michael has to kill them, but don't let it be this one. So I was happy we got so much time with it before Michael had to kill him.
Again, your mileage will vary, and I will fully understand why someone is making an argument somewhere about like, that is the most unnecessary scene in the movie. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
I like that.
But I had a good time with them.
What is in that honey? My mom used to have bees.
It's high and reflective, man.
Yeah.
You just don't get it.
I do get it. That's why I love it.
I love the 3 kids who show up in the Halloween 3 masks. That made me very happy.
Oh yeah, I told Megan, I was like, oh, that'd be me and Matt in this horror movie. Hi, Mikey, you want to play? You want some candy?
He just keeps waving at us. Although the whole time when they were talking about that, they're like, and our friend hasn't come back. I was like, these kids are fucking stupid. Like,
yeah, I think that because they're also like, yeah, he's probably a pedophile. What a loser.
I'm like, you're at best get molested. Like that is best case scenario right now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, I like the callback of the Halloween masks.
Yeah, that was fun. I like that they kind of find ways to fold in all of the movies. Like, clearly Danny McBride and David Gordon Green really love this franchise, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I did want to tell you, I heard a great anecdote about the guy who almost directed this, Adam Wingard, who now has gone on to big movies. He just did Godzilla versus Kong, but he started off making kind of cool low budget Carpenter riffs, basically. And he, was their top choice to make Halloween 2018. And he decided to turn it down after he got an email from John Carpenter that basically just said like, hey man, you made one of like my favorite movies of the last few years. I'm really excited to work with you. You're a great director. And he went, oh, it turns out that was all I wanted. I didn't want to make a Halloween movie. I just wanted John Carpenter to tell me I'm a good person. Like,
that's amazing.
Like, he's like, I don't actually have any ideas for this movie. Oh shit. Like, I just wanted to talk to John Carpenter.
That's pretty great though.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, he was just like, well, that's all I want. Give it to someone who could do it, like, who has an idea for it. John Carpenter, man. I
would have been struggling for a pitch. I would have had to bring in like the guy who writes all my movies, and we would have had to come up with something last minute. Turns out I just wanted to talk to John Carpenter.
That's pretty great.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm glad you didn't make this movie.
I'm glad you got your John Carpenter talk.
I like your next a lot too. So good for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
So I just had to share that because it made me so happy.
Yeah, it's so wholesome.
That sounds like it would be us. Like, I don't actually have an idea for Halloween 5. I just wanted to talk to Carpenter.
We do have an idea for a Darth Vader movie for John Carpenter.
Please call me.
Please make that.
So back to Halloween Kills. Best part of the whole movie, though, is the mob attack scene when they go after Michael.
The mob attack scene was my one issue with the movie. I wish, because there was that buildup of when they're all circling him and he was standing there, and I was like, oh, he's about to get in it, they're gonna fight, and then they just like immediately knock him down, shoot him 6 times, stab him, and then he gets up and kills everyone. To me, that was the one part where I was like, all right, that was a little much. Like the other movies we've been watching, it's like, oh yeah, Michael Myers, you can't kill him and stuff like that. But this one's kind of more like a little more realistic,
more towards supernatural.
Yeah, like that was the one part where I was like,
But I mean, clearly that's kind of been part of their pitch. Like, they've always had the people who know the most about Michael. In the 2018 one, it's Laurie, And in this, it's Laurie and the cop talking about, like, you know, what is it she says in this one? The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Yeah. Well, because, like, the magic of that was from the first one where he gets shot 6 times, but then he's gone. This, it's like, oh, you see him get stabbed and shot and beat up, and then he just gets back up. Like, you see it, which I don't want to see it. I want the myth and, like, the mysticism of it.
But I think, and I don't disagree with you, but I also see what they're trying to do in taking the humanity more and more away from Michael to make him into the shape. Like, even in this movie, like, they refer to him as the Haddonfield Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like, that's his serial killer name, is the Boogeyman. Which I love, by the way. That was a great little detail that I was just like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Yeah. But to turn him into the Boogeyman, you've got to do some legwork now, because you don't have Halloween 2 where he gets both eyes shot out and then he'll be back in Halloween 4.
Yeah.
To do that heavy lifting of, like, I don't know, he's Michael.
Yeah.
Like, those don't count anymore. Halloween Kills is someone's first Halloween movie. So they're going, why is this guy alive? And if you beat him to death at the end and he still gets back up, you don't care anymore. You just understand it.
Because
I still don't love it, but I get why they're doing it.
A lot of people in my movie theater were like, what? Yeah, come on. Like, when that happens.
But also, like, for me, a little bit, there's stuff that it's like in D&D when it's like, can I jump out that window and turn into a bear and land on that guy? And it's like, I mean, that sounds fucking cool. So yeah.
See, like, I wouldn't have cared if, like, the buildup of, like, them all circling him and, like, a fight, like, actually, like, happened. Because, like, to me, it just ruined the pacing of that. And then it was just, like, quick cuts of him killing everyone.
Yeah. I would have liked if they beat him down and then he got back up and then it was, like, a full-out fight scene, not the quick cuts. Would have still accomplished it. But also, like, they are building kind of, like, I get why they did. They're building to a literal crescendo. Yeah. But also, back to my main complaint with this being the first half of a movie, imagine if that was the end of the second act of a movie, is they beat Michael Myers to death. And then you just cut to something else. Yeah. And then you can come back 15 minutes later and he gets up off the ground and kills them all or something. You know, like, it works better. But that's the problem with middle parts of trilogies. Yeah. You know,
I wonder if you cut out the part of him killing everyone and leave it to where he's, like, beat up on the ground and then it plays out like it does. And then Laurie's daughter's in the window and then he's just that. Like behind her. Like,
I was thinking the same thing.
He didn't die. Yeah. I think that would have been cooler.
Or even, like, Inception ambiguity in it, you know, like, everybody's walking away and we just slowly zoom in on his body and, like, hand twitches, credits.
I feel like they couldn't do that because that's how they ended the last one with, like, did he die?
Yeah, no, this one definitely has to be like, don't worry, there's another movie. Yeah. Which, again, is just the tough thing with middle parts of stuff like this. Yeah. If you pull it off, you wind up with Empire Strikes Back, which is a great standalone film that has some threads that could be picked up in a sequel. Yeah. If you don't do it good, you wind up with, like, The Matrix Revolutions, where you're like, wait, what? There's going to be a third one, right? Because this feels like the first half of a movie.
I saw someone's review of Dune like that, where it was like, man, this is like watching the first Lord of the Rings movie, but without the comfort of knowing that they already started filming the other ones. Yeah. I hope there's more sequels. I haven't seen Dune yet, so I don't know, but I saw someone review that like that.
Well, I mean, like, just the first Dune book is like 600 pages. That is hard to turn into a 2-hour movie. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that thing of, like, watching this, like, I know Halloween ends.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't bother me that much. It's like, when I watch them in the future, I'll watch them together. Yeah. Especially because I bet, you know, this one was only an hour and a half. I bet the next one will only be an hour and a half. Yeah. 3 hours? I watch 3-hour movie. That's fine. Yeah. And that'll be the only way I watch those two movies. As opposed to Halloween 2018, which is a great standalone. Yeah. What can you do?
You can go see this movie on Peacock or in theaters.
Yes, please. Yes, make sure that. I mean, I guess they have to release the next one. They already shot it, but
Just see it just because it's cool.
yeah, it is a really good time. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to sound like I'm shitting on this movie too hard.
Mhm.
It is not. It does not commit the cardinal sin of being mediocre.
Mhm.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is very good.
Like, it would definitely. It's definitely going to rank in like the top half of my Halloween list. I don't know if it'll stay at my third favorite Halloween movie or whatever it is right now, but or fourth.
Because yours was 2018 or no, original 2018 Halloween 3, and then
Halloween 2, yeah.
Yeah, and then Halloween 2, yeah.
But I really like Halloween 4, so
so watch us.
Yeah.
Keep up with. We got all the Michaels here.
Any closing thoughts, Zach?
This movie's still my number 2. I just love, like, I feel like these movies speak to me more than like the other Halloween movies we've watched so far. Just like the filmmaking, the comedy in it.
Yeah.
Like there's so many like shots in 2018 and this one where I'm like, dang, that's cool. Like I gotta reference that later for like some storyboarding stuff, because that's like chef's kiss. Because I think like also like comedy is all about timing, and so is horror. So having comedy people do horror is just like my favorite thing.
Always works, yeah.
Yeah. So I love it. R.I.P. Big John, Little John. Best characters. I wish we got more of them. I just want to spin off of them. Like, how did they find the Michael house? There montages of them like decorating it with the cool dark green walls.
I mean, well, that's the other thing I kept thinking. If my closing thought, you know what this should have been? Halloween 2018 and then Halloween the TV series. Because that's kind of what this feels like, is an episode of TV show. Because it's, first half. I was like, it would bother me way less if this was episode 1, 2, and 3 of Haddonfield.
But they wouldn't have as much cool stuff in budget.
No. Well, maybe if it was a Netflix show.
Yeah, maybe. But also, I just love it.
Yeah, I really liked it.
We didn't talk about the Loomis.
Good Loomis.
Good Loomis.
Yeah.
Was that just a different actor, or
dude,
digital anything on it?
I don't know.
Huh?
Because I was wondering the whole time too. Yeah.
Because they didn't really close up on him except one time, and I was like, that looks a lot like Loomis, but also not.
It must be the guy who, because I know they had for 2018 they had a guy record new dialogue for like Loomis's tapes on Michael, that play over like the beginning. So I assume maybe it was just that actor. I assume to sound like that you had to look like that a little bit. The stocky British guy. I don't know.
Well, it was cool getting the. Did you get him?
Yeah.
Did he kill again?
I'm still crazy in this timeline. Don't worry. The only thing that would have been better is if he entered the house going, "Did you shoot him? I shot him 6 times."
Roll credits.
Oh, that's the thing we forgot. Carpenter's score in this rips. So
As
he's
it always
still got
does.
it. Yeah.
As it always does.
It kind of goes without saying, but I just wanted to shout it out real quick.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Shout John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. Movie's cool for me. I like it. So join us next week.
Yes.
Or I guess happy Halloween.
Yeah.
This is our Halloween episode. Unfortunately, the elusive exclusive Tim is out of town, so he could not be here with us. But
hopefully he'll join us later for another episode in the Halloween series at some point.
Yeah. So join us Fridays. Their next one will be Halloween 2. I got Halloween 2 Myers back there.
With the bleedy eyes.
Yeah, and now we have this cool video format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zach, where can everybody find you?
Zac Schick on Instagram, Schick.
You know what? Never mind. After that, don't follow him. Goodbye. I don't want to try it. That's the only problem.
Matt, where can everyone find you?
I got nothing. I don't know. You can find me on everything from Instagram to OnlyFans as I draw paintings. Can you just drop this back in randomly somewhere for me? I forgot the coolest part, everybody. When Sheriff Brackett walks up to Michael and goes, "Hey, Michael, it's Halloween. Time for your one good scare," and then shoots him in the face. Fucking, you know what? I've changed my mind about this movie. 10 out of 10. Roll credits.
Hey, Michael, everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Bye.
As the Vox fades, we thank you for listening to this bizarre journey into cinema. If your morbid curiosities hunger for more, you may summon our horror bros at mattmakeszac.com, on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Makes Zac, or if you dare, say George Lucas 3 times into a mirror for a visit from our phantom menaces. You may now return to your mortal plane of existence. Until next week, as Matt Makes Zac sit through another chilling apparition. Mwah!